I need dirt shoes, and yeah, timestamps exist in case you want to just skip forward, even though we're not going to be doing much. Also, yes, I need to burn my TP, so we're doing that as well. But without further ado, so I just realized a thing. Well, we'll see if this is a video or a stream-like video. Either way, training Haru Urara will be helpful for me as well, because I will be able to search for dirt aptitude. And if I don't get it, so be it. I don't think we actually are borrowing from a guest, but I was training Simply Rudolph earlier. What are we doing here for Haru Urara again? I think we're just doing one. You know, funny enough, no, I think we're taking power. So, without further ado, I think I'd rather do Aishin Flash. And the reason for that is specifically the events, but I can't explain myself at the moment, so really I'm just talking out of nowhere. But as we take Tazna as well, just for consistency's sake, yeah, I apologize in advance to my club, because this Haru Urara run is going to be fanless. But as we actually start this run, and stop for timestamp's sake, my Haru Urara runs are really, really low on fan count. I forgot if that's just an apparent, that's likely for most people training Haru Urara, or if that's just me being bad. I'm sure a lot of it is me being bad, but as this training will let you see. But otherwise, as I mentioned earlier, if you skip to this timestamp, the reason I'm doing another Haru Urara run is because we are... it doesn't feel right saying Haru Urara, but anyway, Haru Urara run, I'll talk about that later, but the reason I need it is because I need dirt shoes, but also just to look for dirt's aptitude. Now, that being said, the disclaimer that at least more than a few trainers say when they're streaming or making content is that you should really train whatever you want to do, train for whatever you want to do, train whoever you want to train, and make goals according to whatever you feel like doing, whether you're collecting trophies with every single Uma Musume, whether you are trying to win as many legend races as possible out of the 9 you get per Uma Musume that appears, whether you're trying to win the meeting, let's just say, that's coming out soon, or should be coming out soon, things like that. If you set your goals for PvP, PvE, enjoyment, just trying to only train Haru Urara 90% of the time, you do you. But for this video at least, yeah, I'm trying to get dirt shoes and looking for dirt aptitude, which is going to be innate with Haru Urara because I am following the tree. So yes, I guess you can... On the spectrum of whether or not I'm a spreadsheet trainer, I guess I am, but I'm still having fun. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone else, though. You do whatever you have fun with. I have more fun working with spreadsheets, but obviously I still do gold ship things just because I do gold ship. And by that, I will specifically mention that after pulling on the Kita-san Black banner, I think the only other Uma Musume banner I'll be pulling on is maybe a certain summer. I'll even skip... do I skip that one? Do I skip Christmas? Maybe I skip summer instead. Either way, in general, I usually try to save about 30,000 carats. I almost said jewels. 30,000 carats. And the reason for that is, I like to save 60,000. After that, I'll spend on anything I want, and probably either for Christmas or summer. Otherwise, if I really, really decide to need it, because I need to check the information again of whether or not I want to pull during Christmas or summer, then I will do so. I am specifically am I redacting, censoring? Not trying to spoil things for anyone, but basically to kind of, I guess, pull the curtain back. I don't know what the best phrase is because I'm trying to focus on bond training as well, which I'm probably not doing efficiently, but I forgot what I was going to say. Welcome to my channel where I forget what I'm talking about because I keep trying to swerve in the middle of a conversation thinking I'll come back, and I end up not doing that, but... yeah, we do need the strength. We also just need stamina in general. I personally like building still more stamina than usually would be required. I swear it's not just because I'm trying to hit 600 stamina, although that's nice as well. And I recently saw a few trainers, let's just say, train pretty much in the same way I trained for inspiration, and they were specifically farming inspirations, and they got a 3-star quickly, so that makes me really, really sad. 3-star stat. Now, obviously, the odds of that are still going to be quite low, but... don't let it be said I'm not unlucky, at least. Or at least on the average luck and below. I think even with someone who experiences average luck, you will not get a 3-star spark immediately. And especially when I say that, my requirements are kind of strict. Again, I will go silent just in between the goals there for the sake of timestamp, so that the timestamp isn't just cutting into me yapping on about something, even though I am yapping on about a lot. But, yeah, we'll do special week. We do need fans, but I think we'll try to save them for the end 10 turns. I've tried doing different kinds of training for the earn 5,000 fans goal, whether that's taking a race every 5 to 7 turns, which is what I would advise, or saving your races till later so you can focus on training and therefore be more reliable winning races. Again, another disclaimer here, if you have the resources or are a whale, you should perfectly be able to just blast through at least Haru Urara's goals from what I've seen and believe. But hey, also pain. So I guess maybe just race instead when I have nothing else. I could also go to recreation with Tazuna. I guess I'd rather do that, because I didn't really have a lot of good training turns. So the director and the reporter I consider kind of half of a bond, even though they do provide their own benefits, but I have not calculated them enough to know for sure how much they actually help out. They help out, I mean, to anyone who's progressing through or are maybe starting Uma Musume right now, I'm sure it helps out immensely, but yeah, you do want to still focus on your own support cards, especially if they are developed in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on something, so if this is a video, future Jordan will put video in the brackets of the description below, because I may need to edit. But otherwise, we're going to sit here and do our best. So there are a few things, and I have to remind myself, if I were to yap on for a moment, of essentially training I've done before. It's that I definitely remember playing at least 2 different scenarios, or maybe 1. Again, I don't remember. In the past, I've said I stopped right before a certain gold ship came out. I'm pretty sure that's still where I stopped, but that was certainly after at least 1 scenario. Oh, how many steps are there? As someone sneezes in the background, but ooh, 7%, believe. Believe! Okay, good. And we can I'm gonna rest here, because if you didn't already know, so your second recreation, so this second step here that's empty, or the 4th step here, when you reach it, do get rid of a negative effect. Not that I didn't believe any sources that said so, but at least you're hearing it from me as well. Oh, I was supposed to rest, by the way. I was not supposed to recreation Metrology, but fine, I guess. But yeah, they get rid of negative effects. So if you need to get rid of a negative effect and recover energy, Tazuna's your support card. But as for me specifically, well, hey, I do need stamina. I could force this. No, we're just gonna Tazuna again. I think we'll barely. I think we recover 34 energy if you pick the top option. If you pick the bottom option, you don't get energy or mood. This one increases mood too, so it's gonna do it too. Yeah, we got the full amount. I feel that was a good turn. And if it wasn't, feel free to tell me why it wasn't. My guts. We're kind of hitting our guts, or my preferred guts minimum anyway. But while we can still do it, hey, the bonds. Bet, woo! I don't remember these events yet. But if it's power, I'll take it, because all I have are speed cards, and which is something that should be very likely. I'm not going to say for certainty, but it should be very likely that gets rectified when, I should just do wits training, when the Kita-san Black banner comes around. And the reason I keep saying that is because if nothing else, and it's something I did forget about until other trainers mentioned it with their mouths, is that you will be drawing other support cards as well. And funny enough, there are a lot of good SR and SSR cards right now, so you're not muddying the waters, so to say, with any cards that you may not want that are going to be coming out in the future. So I guess that's another reason why to pull on Kita-san Black. But obviously you're pulling for Kita-san Black, so goodness. Also, let me know if my mic audio sounds weird, because I do stream and record differently for any game that's not my main game that was currently on this channel, although technically you can call Uma Musume one of my main games now. But, anywho, we gotta start racing soon, otherwise we might not make it. I'm pretty sure there are a few thousand fan rewarding races. The problem is you're not guaranteed to win them. That's not an example, I was about to say. So when's my next one? Yeah, 2,000 here. I think just 2 good races will get you through, especially if you have the support cards for them. But, yeah. So around here, if you're really, really comfortable, you can wait till way later, but I'm not that comfortable. So off we go. Another way, so in my mind, just having 200 of every stat at this point before this goal completes is enough, should be enough to win you the races. Maybe not totally consistently, but I feel it's consistent enough. You should feel very confident in passing the goal if all of your stats, save for maybe stamina, can stay at 160, 180. But everything else at 200 or above, you should be able to win whatever races you're doing here. Now that being said, we don't have any good bonds here, do we? Is it just Guts again? This might just be a Guts turn. No, it's a Stamina turn. I'll take that. Realistically speaking, though, even though I do play it really safe with Stamina, you don't need as much Stamina as you may see me putting in Stamina, or in previous videos in the early Prog series, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be called something like Grinding Gate, because I'm grinding for resources here. But yeah, you don't need as much stamina, but that being said, I would argue that you actually still need a little bit more stamina. As I mentioned before, if nothing else, you're trying to outstat your rivals, but I think an extra 15, 20 stamina, especially when your stamina is only just a few hundred, does play a big factor in your survivability in races, and basically getting first. But hey, El Condor pasa SSR. No! Can you get linked events if you don't have that support card? I don't feel like you can, but anywho, let's take this race and see what happens. So preferably I like to stay in mile, especially since I'm going to continue building stamina. So that way stamina is not a dead stat, but we'll see what happens. Also, we need more power, but that's something that'll get fixed. So off to the side here, we do... I just realized also that this specific goal will be very long in video. Maybe I should combine two goals together. But anywho, so I've seen success with 3-4 speed cards, which is a lot of what trainers would recommend, most likely. But I've also experienced success with, 2 speed, 3 speed with 1-2 strength cards, which is still kind of speed oriented, but I think you get the point of what I'm trying to say here. Basically, whatever works for you will work, but for me specifically, getting 600 power, 600 stamina, 600 speed is certainly doable with both builds I just mentioned, whether you're running 4 speed to try and boost power by friendship training and the sub power increases, or you actually just insert a power card and make do with what you've got. But as we sit here for a moment, I could Wits. I think I'd rather do this. Special Week is by far one of the stronger cards I have, so I might as well take the training to get the 30-point bonus. That being said, I do have to race again at some point. I definitely still have 2 races left to do 700 fans, and if I somehow botch both of those, 1, this is going to be a very short video, and 2, I'm going to be very sad. Also, is it the same color of light? Anywho, I'm going crazy. Would be nice to grab stings. If I somehow do Arima Kinen, that would be really weird, because I definitely don't have the sparks for it. But as we continue onward here, I think, is it a race today? Yeah, race today. So this last dirt mile race, I thought there was a G3 race, but maybe I'm just going crazy, which ultimately gives you more fans, but hey. Also, we only have a B in mile, but I'll take that. We should be able to still hit the stat requirements to do so. Won't be consistent for URA champion mile races, but that's not what I'm aiming for. Alternatively, I could also just enter... Well, actually, I do need to enter a lot of dirt races G1, if possible, because they will grant me the shoes I'm looking for. Almost forgot the goal of this video, or the primary goal of this video while I was going through. But otherwise, dirt aptitude would also be very much appreciated. So we're going to rest here. If we get a negative effect, we will Tazuna. Otherwise, I'll just take it where it comes. And we get a mood down for it, so never mind, I lied to myself. We will take this training, but now I'm just really sad that I missed all those stats. I wonder how much you actually lose specifically. I'm sure you lose at least 10 to 20%, because there's also, well, there's the migraine, so actually now we can Tazuna and not feel bad. Oh, I just realized the reason why I wanted to do more races during this goal is because I didn't like doing races later on, and you'll see why. You still have time if you are in between 5,000 and 8,000 fans specifically. The reason why I say 8,000 is because the next goal is 8,000. The next goal after that one is 12,000. So I like taking care of the fan goal now. But, I mean, you do whatever is comfortable for you. That being said, we are going to try to enter this. So there's a G3 at the end here. But if you're where I am right now in terms of resources, I would not risk pushing your goal this late and trying to get all of your fans for the 5,000 fan goal on this last turn, essentially. Do it before. Take those OP races. I forgot what the exact word is, but you get the point. And yeah, that's not much more to say. I'm looking at my mood and being really sad right now, but well, I'll make do with what we've got. We should be able to win this. Also, I heard and read about how the pace chaser strat does lower your stamina a little bit as a penalty, but I mean it kind of makes sense because the other front runner has a bunch of, well, if you get it has its negatives obviously, and it has its positives depending on how you race. But then definitely anything running behind a pace chaser, you need to build a bunch of power among anything else that might fit. Why does that keep happening? Windows. I'm not unplugging anything, but also yeah, racing there means that you have less energy here, but that's fine because either I'm gonna do a lot of wits or I'm just gonna rest straight up, which I don't want to do. But we're probably just gonna do wits. So yeah. That being said, I feel like that just messed me up a little bit, so the game is going to kind of freeze for a moment as I move on to the next go, which is fine. I mean, like, it's in between timestamps, it's fine. Earn 9,000 fans. Bestest prize Haru Urara, but let's look at this. So yeah, that's not the greatest, it's not the worst either, but I guess we'll do this and do 2 more wits training, unless I want to take a gamble here. Again, just to remind people, I think the lowest I failed so far in global server was a 3%, and it was specifically, so if you didn't already know, and if I didn't already talk about it, Super Creek, when you're training Super Creek to Uma Musume, she has a phase during a goal's duration in which she experiences a negative under the weather effect, which guarantees a 5% failure rate. But if you have practiced perfect before that, as we roll on a 20%, yeah! As we roll... If you have, say, Practice Perfect, I think that's what it's called, which increases your success rates, it brings that total to 3%. Now, I don't have the footage for it, so you just have my hearsay, but I'm sure someone else might say 3%, although I've never seen it in the few communities I'm a part of. So, just know that that's your takeaway information for the day. And if I'm wrong, well, correct me. It might be 2%, but I feel like it's 3%. Anywho. So we achieved the goal, but if we don't have 12,000 fans, we need to get those 12,000 fans from somewhere. That being said, if they don't appear anywhere here, yeah, this dirt mile race is probably going to be the one. So if for no other reason than for Sparks as well, but really I'm trying for the coin flip. Nah, fine. I guess we'll do the last Tosna one here for 49 energy. I wonder why it's 49 energy and not 50, but anywho. I'm not going to complain too much. I also just realized that I did a thing, so maybe I should have done a thing. Whoops. Actually, while the game is still going here, it's fine. So, as we work on strength here, let me do this so that I can do... Okay, I do have a thing. Never mind. Yeah, I know. Let's do it, Haru Urara. Let's do the trading. So, we'll do wits, I guess, yeah. If we find nothing, I do just pour my turns into wits. I'm doing a thing in the background, stream like video please, but this way I will actually know if something happens. So I'm doing some monitoring on the side and you'll never know what it is. Otherwise, power, stamina, what? Don't I have 2 stamina cards? Or do I only have the 1 McQueen? I probably only have the 1 McQueen, which kind of makes me a bit sad. So I guess it's back to wits training I go, question mark? Yeah. My stamina is a lot lower than I'd like it to be, basically, especially since we don't have any recovery skills, particularly rare ones, but anyone would help, I believe. But I'll take a Tosna turn as well. Even though this is not the greatest increase of stats, Tosna being here lowers that energy requirement. Essentially, running 2 to 3 Tosnas will allow you to get pretty much a guaranteed energy, guaranteed turn of training, especially if you get a max energy increase from somewhere, which at least I normally do, but if you're not set up for it, then hey. So we're going to cancel this just to see what this turn would have been. Would it be nice, but we're gonna take the risk. We should be able to win this. Classic year, end of classic year, G1 race. If you have around 300 in most of your stats, you should be able to win. But again, obviously, train your stats for the races that you're trying to be in. This is a mile race, so we could be missing stamina here. But let's find out. I guess we will actually watch this race, if for no other reason than to also extend the length of this timestamp for 8,000 fans, because I promise you, the next one for 12,000 is just gonna be just as short. Another way to say it is Future Jordan has a lot of work to do as we're sitting on this loading screen waiting. But I think I'm 6 million plus on Gold Chip fans. So to date this video, at the time of this recording, I have 6 million plus Gold Chip fans for Gold Chip, and I'm aiming for that 10 million title, and then obviously in the future the bigger titles. 100 million and I think 500 million is the last one. I can't remember, but you get the point. I do a lot of gold chip trading. That might not help me in the long run in terms of doing PvP stuff, but I'm happy with it. No! Okay, well that's already gonna be bad. But if nothing terribly tragic, I don't even remember how many late runners, so I don't know how much late start actually affects us if there's literally no one else in our pace, unless you're a front runner. But we get rushed as well, so what is our wits for? Well, I'll tell you. The chances of rush is actually not that high, but it can happen still. So I guess Haru Urara becomes a pace chaser for the moment and wastes a bunch of energy and suffers from basically being uncontrollable for a moment. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I can't skip the race anyway because I haven't won it yet, but it would be nice to win this one. Now, whether we do or not, I mean, for all you know, again, when you skip races, you don't know what happens in the race. You can't even replay the race, I believe, at least in scenario mode. So, for all you know, you could have gotten literally this race where it's late start rushed, which is kind of funny because, as I mentioned before, if I just am waiting for content, or I do a... If something funny or interesting happens outside of recording, I shouldn't need to worry because when I'm recording, something interesting should happen anyway. That's how much I should believe in myself. But as Maruzenski pulls forward here, and Haru Urara is in 6th, pushing towards 5th and 4th, let's see if she actually pulls up ahead, because she still could be blocked to a greater extent. But as Taiki's shuttle also speeds up, yeah, we need to, we're probably not going to win this. We're too... It's going to be close. I know Haru Urara can literally run right alongside someone, but we could have just been blocked there the whole time, so shrug. Also being late start into a rush, having a late start into being rushed probably didn't help out either, but Tazuna's not going to be able to tell us that, so yeah. Again, when you get 2nd or 3rd, for all you know, this could have happened. Even if you are a front... In fact, having a late start as a front runner, for me, at least if you want to hear my experience, late start with a front runner, I've lost pretty much 75-ish% of the time. Especially when there are more front runners, and there are stronger front runners along with you. It just doesn't go well. This is both inside of scenarios and outside in PvP. I've watched a few PvP races. Boy, does it look weird. But anywho. So I think... McQueen, where are you? We'll do wits again. We'll push our wits high if we can. I don't think we can push it to 600 without sacrificing too much for URA Finals, but we'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out. If I could enter more Dirt G1 races, that would be nice. We'll skip those as much as we can, because I probably can't do a full skip because, well, I haven't won many, so here's the Champions Cup. And we'll see if we can win this one at least. We look good, so it's not like we did totally terrible. It's just that RNG, as I've mentioned before, and if you haven't heard it from me or know about it, yeah, RNG can be pretty bad. Yeah, we don't have full predictions. Those are a pretty good indicator of how you do, to most of an extent. At least I believe so, and I will tell you to believe so. But if you don't believe me, yeah, and I'm not saying it has its faults either. I'm pretty sure the predictions don't account for the skills you use, which I think makes sense because skills are not guaranteed to activate. So if they don't activate, you're essentially working with your predictions there. But if you have, say, Swinging Maestro, and it says your stamina is lacking, it may not be lacking at all. In fact, you may be perfectly fine. But as we get a late start again, I don't even want to see rushed here. We're held up behind everyone, so this is going to hurt. Unless we catch up now, we are not going to catch up. 300 meters left. This is gonna be close. Now, we're not blocked, so the question is, do we accelerate enough to our max speed to take first? 200 meters left. It's possible. It needs to be a big speed increase right now, though. Right now. Nope. Second, though. I'm pretty sure that's second. So, yeah, as you saw, we're not having a stamina problem. We're having all my other stats are a bad problem. And a late start, which... Wait, did we have... Oh, now I'm kind of regretting... Because we just finished... I know I talked about finishing Tazuna's events, and here I am sitting on possibly concentration, which would have helped with the late starts. Well, and as a connection error occurs, oh my goodness, titles. And no, it's not because I'm trying to hide my trainer ID or anything. I'm literally just trying to save you time because it took me, I mean, it didn't take long, 30 seconds to a minute to get back to this loading screen, but yeah, it's going to start immediately off from here. So if future Jordan manages the edits right, which we need to because I did 2 separate recordings, then yeah. But otherwise, yeah, getting late start right there. Maybe we got rushed as well. it's a stat. We were having a stat problem, and it's most likely going to be a power problem. Everything else looked okay, save for maybe stamina. But again, for the mile races in classic gear, I shouldn't have needed to worry as much about it. But it's what we worried about. Share, please. So, as we continue onward here, just a really quick piece of trivia. I guess I hear Haru Urara needs less of a fan requirement to upgrade her unique skill, but we'll see. Because theoretically speaking, actually no, I didn't win a lot of races, so what I was going to say was probably going to be false. Also, the thing I was talking about is that I should probably take concentration now, if for no other reason than to at least finish this run, at least get to URA Finals. Not win URA Finals, but it would be nice. Yeah, we have Running Gale and Concentration. I'm sitting on skill points, although this is what you want to do later on anyway to save as much skill points as possible. As you saw there, if I'm getting second and not winning my G1 races, I'm not getting dirt shoes, which makes me really, 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 really sad. So, our next, we have a few G1s as part of our goal races, but after that, we really want to look for anything. And you'd be surprised how far you can schedule your races, so I'll literally show you right now, because we're looking for G1 races, and I don't remember a lot of Dirt G1 races, so here we are, just looking for them. That being said, so do we have anything else? No, that's a goal one as well. And I think that might be it, because by the end here, maybe Champions Cup, that's about it. And that's all we get. So, increase our power through increasing speed, or just a direct power increase, which I'd rather take, because Tasma energy as well. I would advise you to have taken... I would have advised others to take the speed training there, but hey, don't give me tissues, please. Well, I guess this is gonna be an onsen run. Now, I hope robots don't hurt me, because I am putting up... I think I put up at least 2 or 3 videos of onsen runs, so it's not like this is a collection of onsen runs. But that's just me hoping, because robots can be weird sometimes. As I'm sure, if we're going off topic for a moment, other content creators or streamers have felt in the past few years at least. But as we skip these view results, and we should be able to get placed first... Give me these shoes! I'm pretty sure it's shoes. Do we also get flags? No, just shoes. So, off we go. To remind myself, I was kind of... This is not a complaint, but so many trainers in my club keep asking for dirt shoes, and I don't do a lot of dirt race runs, or dirt races in general, so I do run out of dirt shoes. But, which is not good. You do want those, because eventually you want to potential up everyone else anyway, unless you're just focusing on a few girls, which you can do. Especially if you're free to play, you probably can only focus on even just 2 or 3 girls, unless you're heavily playing. But that's a different topic of debate. What do I want to do here? Early February. I could just force power here. Ugh, this is really bad. I guess I'll do wits instead. You know, it's also here that I realize, and it's gonna be a while since I came back. My TP will show that, but it's here that I realized that unless you click on your trainer ID, it won't show some cool quality of life. Also, it's gonna be a cut because something happened right after the cut. Hopefully, future Jordan takes care of that. But otherwise, we're here back at Haru Urara again. Well, the bare minimum was that we get 600 speed, 600 power, and maybe 600 stamina. It's looking a bit iffy at this rate, but now that we drew the onsen ticket, and if for no one else then for me to remember, I got an onsen ticket. Let's try to win URA Finals. But as we get our mood down and we go back to the career profile on the other side of the screen, I think I completely forgot what I was talking about. Again, the cut was just something that happened in real life. So it was something that I was kind of expecting, but I hope that... Well, anywho, let's move on. Yeah, it's something that I hope wouldn't happen. That being said, I think I had already scheduled a G1 dirt race, which is really the only types of race Haru Urara can even try, but they have to be sprint or mile anyway. I think I did, right? Tell me I did. I think it was at the end of the year? No? There's that, but I thought there's... Oh, yeah. So we'll schedule the JBC Ladies Classic instead. Never mind. There's a goal race. I completely went insane. I completely didn't even see. Anyway, we've got things scheduled out. Let's try to hit our stat requirements. Now, whether or not we'll actually be able to hit that is a completely different story. Also, I should do this in the meanwhile, because things are still happening. But otherwise, Gotta focus up, Jordan. Do your best. Even though I've been trying my best looking at resources online, looking at questions asked, because most of the times when I have a question, it's usually been answered by someone somewhere anyway, at least as it pertains to Musume. Now, whether or not I can remember the exact pieces of information, like how much exact stamina you need for a certain number of meters, no, the answer is no. I could not recite that to you off the top of my head. But I can give you guidelines, like, well, really, it depends on scenario mode. In scenario mode, you don't need more than 600 stamina if you have good recovery skills. If you don't, it gets a little iffy, at least I feel, but from what I've seen, it's never really been too bad. Also, did we get another hit to our mood, by the way? Feels like we did. Well, either way, I'm going to do speed here anyway, just to try and also push power up, but really it's for speed and power. Now, whether or not we get our power to 600 is my first question. After that, stamina, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Otherwise, wits is probably going to be our go-to. No, it's going to be a recreation. I could have just waited. I think we were going to get another mood increase soon anyway, but I wasn't going to be entirely certain of that. That being said, we don't really have much time to wait, so I guess I'll rest instead. We got well rested, but either way, I'll take the 47. And off we go. So, hey, let's do some stamina stuff here. Now, whether we're going to get to 600 stamina, don't think so. Funny enough, as much as others and I kind of mac on Super Creek for not being as helpful for friendship training on stamina, probably would have been able to push myself to 600 stamina, but power and speed more important here. So, and all things considered, if I'm trying to get sparks with Haru Urara, well, first and foremost, getting dirt. But right after that, probably want power instead of stamina, because I would probably be making, again, at least for me, I would be trying to go for sprint and mile races. Can go for medium and long, but that would be a little strange. So, yeah, I think I'll just be happy with what I get. Otherwise, I could force things here. But I think I'd rather force power... question mark. I could also take Tazna for less energy drain, but I think I'd just do this. I'd take the power training here, do 2 wits if I don't get anything I want, and then do a final training. But either way, I'm taking a guess anyway, so we'll take the power one here, and then I guess it's 2 wits, unless I want to gamble on a failure rate. Never mind, we have a race. I completely forgot. Also, keeping in mind that earlier, again, if I'm repeating for no one else than myself, I did not take the skills I should have taken. But in the meanwhile, while we're here, I don't think there's anything else I could get, right? Maybe major... I mean, good thing you can check here. Yeah, we're not going to be in long races, so we're not going to get cooldown. So I should just grab anything I can get now. But I don't think I will regardless. I'll take Nimble Navigator. And whether or not it's really... Again, I keep seeing conflicting pieces of advice from 2 sources I trust, in that navigation does not... Well, actually, maybe it's right, because navigation does nothing, especially when it comes to the scenario. And the other one is navigation does help, just in general. It does what it says on the tin, but I don't know which to believe. So, hey, also my fans being at a low number, well, that's my Haru Urara runs. Unless that's supposed to be normal anyway, but... I mean, granted, if I had won my G1 races, we'd be at probably like around 100,000 at this point. And I don't think the fan bonuses would have helped immensely as well, but I guess we'll find out. 21% Tazna. Hey! As soon as you see the spark animation there of the white radiant fade there, you'll be good. If you don't see it, pain happens. But anyway. Yeah, I think we're just gonna hope for 600 power. We can't get our stamina up at this rate, and it'll probably be dead to stats anyway, until I get stronger resources just in general, whether it is an inspiration or it is support cards. But yeah, I think for Haru Urara here, we'll just stick with this. Now, I could think about giving Super Creek Swinging Maestro for the purposes of getting stamina to 600 as well, but again, then I'd have to likely sacrifice power, and that's going to be important for Haru Urara here when I train her, mostly because I leave her on her late strategy anyway. So I'm struggling in real life, as I say. I'm doing my best to try and go for 3-star sparks. Even though, yes, they are, let's keep repeating this, they are very low chance to happen, but better than 0%, and if you can certainly do it consistently, winning, I think it's, in my opinion, for me at least, but I would advise anyone as well, it's more important than winning URA Championship, unless you're doing other things in game. Again, if you're going for fans, if you just want the URA Championship spark, which I heard is powerful, especially when you get it to 3-star, but you get what I'm trying to say at this point, I think. It's important, but if I had to choose between one of the two, I'd rather get a 3-star stat spark. And then preferably a 3-star aptitude as well. And legacies can help with that, certainly, if for no other reason than you just get base stats, or maybe an aptitude to aptitudes to A or S to even proc 3-star, or you get stats up so you can hit the stat caps to get 2-star, 3-star sparks more reliably. But that's a completely different issue. I could have actually just taken power there. I probably should have just taken power there, but it's too late. But I think speed training there is better for winning URA finals. If I were focusing more on team trials, I would have taken the power training for stamina. But anyway, here I go. Haven't won the Champions Cup yet either. Didn't I try for that during the Classic year? Well, we're gonna find out. So, without further ado, we'll skip through this, but we should be able to win this, right? Unless we get a late start for some weird reason. That's right, we have concentration, so it's less likely. Actually, we're stuck behind someone, so unless we break out, I'm actually going to watch this final spurt just to see what happens. I think we have one more skill we can proc. This is a lot of distance to make up, but if we speed up properly, we should be able to properly race with Taiki Shuttle and Sakura Bakshino, because we shouldn't be getting blocked by anything. But it is going to be a bit tight because we're not speeding up fast enough, as Taiki Shuttle is also staying in front. Yeah, we got second again, by the way. I think it's a power problem. It could be, I mean, I don't doubt having 900 speed with the same stats would help out as well, but I would think about increasing power first here. No, Windows, please! I know, that's my Windows sound if you can hear that. I'm pretty sure you can, because I haven't done anything else to this OBS setup. So, yeah, could have also taken more skills here, granted, but I've done what I've done. I think we're just going to leave it here for the moment. All we need to do... Oh yeah, this is just a participation goal, so hey. It is possible to win. Don't let anyone say you can't, but in global server right now, boy, fun times. Getting inspiration for Arima Kinen here. But otherwise, as we do move on to URA Championships, at the very least I want to hit 600 power. But obviously we have Hot Spring Ticket, which it's looking less likely we're going to be able to do, especially since we're already just racing immediately. So unless I want to gamble on 12%, I'm going to rest here and hope that Haru Urara can carry us with nearly 400 in the lower stats. We should have enough stamina for this. For this the URA Final Series. Whether or not we win, I'll clock. Usually you're going to get to the qualifiers if you have the stat spread I do, but as we sit at 70,000 fans, I apologize in advance to anyone who's really serious in my club about getting higher grade, but gotta do Haru Urara anyway, so. Yeah, we're just going to go for higher power here, and the only reason we have higher power is because of the supports present there. That being said, we can still hit 600 power, but we have to win all of URA finals. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take whatever skills we can for the purposes of winning the races. Now, are we going to actually win the races? And are these skills going to, more importantly, help me? We'll find out. But my guts and wits are perfectly fine for where I'm at. Well, I believe. Preferably would like them higher, but I don't have that luxury because otherwise I have to sacrifice speed, power, or stamina. And here's the free clock. Even with 15 clocks, I will spend them liberally, I think, is the word to use there if you want to try and sound sophisticated. But otherwise, I don't mind using a lot of clocks, is what I'm trying to say when I'm at 15. Or going full clocks, using all 3 in a run, if I have at least 15. At around 10 or 9, though, I do get a bit more... I'm more hesitant, but anywho. I'm just gonna go full power here. Because if nothing... Actually, even if we fail the... Oh, no, these are the finals, never mind. So, we should be able to hit 600. We get the Tazuna buff. We get... I think we have Director at max. I don't know about Etsuko, so I guess we'll find out. But we'll watch the final spurt here, if nothing else. We are missing some power, though. It says we're missing... I believe from left to right, it's the predictions. So the leftmost prediction, I believe, is speed. Again, this is just me. This is literally just hearsay, so I need to confirm this. I think the middle prediction is stamina, or basically your HP. And then the right one is basically the final spurt. Another way I think about it is that from left to right, the predictions are literally your performance during the beginning, middle, and end of the race. But as we try to pass Maruzensky here again, let's see if we can actually do it. We're looking a bit far. We need to speed up now. A skill would help out, but I don't think it's looking as likely. So, yeah. An extra 25, 30 power here probably would have helped out immensely. We keep getting second. Well, I'll clock. Actually, I need to clock because onsen. If for no other reason than collecting the title. But we'll skip to the final spurt and try our best. Another way to talk about this recording is that future Jordan has a lot of work to do. Even though it's not really that much work overall, but compared to what I usually do, yeah, there's a lot I have to do. Oh my goodness, we're way in the back. We finally proc Urara's skill, which is mostly recovery anyway, and we're not going to be able to break out. Navigational skills. We'll watch this until Maruzensky passes the line, or whoever passes forward. Goodness gracious, why does that happen? Windows, no? I gotta figure out what exactly is happening for that to happen, but I'll figure it out after this video, essentially. Yeah, this time we get absolutely blasted into 7th, and here's our last clock attempt. Stat-wise, we're a lot better than I think even the Haru Urara of part of the early prog series, but since we're here, again, we don't need to win. It would be very, very nice to win, because I don't know when I'm going to get another onsen ticket with Haru Urara, unless I already did one. In that case, I don't remember, but we'll find out. I think you can also check through the archive as well if you get it. We didn't proc concentration that time, and now I'm very, 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 very sad, because we're in 12th in the final spurt, and unless we speed up now, which it seems like we're stuck behind everyone. Navigational skills, no! Please. This time it's Meijiro McQueen leading the pack. If we can break through the middle here, that would be great. Vodka also pulling ahead. And pain. Nothing but pain. Nothing but the rain. And the Windows sound just haunting me as we place 3rd in the finals. But you know what? Hey, now whether or not... I don't think you have to win to get bigger stat increases, but I guess we're going to find out now. So we get a little bit more because it's a little bit more. And then 13 power. I think this is 6 to 8. And it's not enough, because the good ending gives you extra boosts as well, which we're not going to get. So, rip 600 power. We're just going to skip to the end here. Well, without further ado, I guess I'll just close out this video quickly, because there's nothing much else to see here, unless I get an interesting 3-star speed spark somehow. But we get 2-star, we get dirt aptitude, so you know what, I can use this Haru Urara to start my progress, but preferably would have liked 3-star dirt, if anything else. But 2-star dirt I'll take, and then I'll figure out what I can do for here. So without further ado, and I guess everything just shows on screen anyway, yeah, I'll see you when I see you, and if you want to say anything, you know what to do. If you want to support me, you know what to do. If you don't want to support me, that's cool too. Otherwise, I'm not going to take up much more of your time. We'll go back to Gold Chip here, and I'll see you when I see you. Future Jordan has to do a lot of editing. Oh my goodness, loading screens. I'll see you later. Bye.